So we do a lot of insurance law here at Nelson Boyd, and one of the things that I think makes us unique is that we handle long-term disability insurance cases. And there are very few lawyers who do that. There are lots of lawyers who handle insurance things, but long-term disability insurance is very, very different. It's kind of a subset of insurance law. And it requires a really cautious, careful approach. And I really like doing these claims, and I've done them for over 20 years. I enjoy the clients that I work with on these cases. I mean, my clients come to me and they've been diagnosed with a progressive illness, or they've had something terrible happen to them, they've had an injury or something like that, and now they're not able to work anymore. And I will tell you, every single client I've had has always wanted to continue to work. I've represented doctors, I've represented dentists, I've represented lawyers, I've represented executives, I've represented people who have worked very, very hard to get to this spot in their career only to have it cut short. And when that happens, you need to replace that income. These people have obligations, they have bills, they have needs, and they weren't planning on this. And so what happens is they file for long-term disability insurance benefits. Usually it's a policy that they got through their employer. Some of them, especially physicians and dentists, buy a separate individual policy, sometimes when they're in medical school or dental school, and they have that as well. So the way I prefer to work is if somebody hires me when they're planning to file for benefits, they haven't filed yet and they need to file an application. And on its face, the application looks really easy, and the employer may even say, hey, I'll help you do this, but it's a trap and it's a trick, because everything you submit to the insurance company, everything you say to the insurance company, every communication you have goes into this big file, and they're collecting a file on you. And the point of that is not to have a file so that we can approve your claim. The point is to create a file against you so that they can deny your claim. And so my job is I want to work with people in the very beginning before they file anything. And I want to strategize how to best present their claim. Sometimes there are gaps in the medical records. Sometimes there are things that people haven't followed up on yet, even though they know that it's there. And I'll talk to them about how an insurance company might view their claim. I'll talk to them about what's required. I'll talk to them about the evidence that we need and the whole process. And so we'll strategize, sometimes for a while, before we ever file the application. And then I'll file the application because I want you to have the best shot that you can at getting approved. And I want you to get approved on your application. I don't want that to get denied and then you have to litigate and we have to go through an appeal. I want you to have the best shot you can. So I really like strategizing. I like planning ahead. Other people come to me after they filed their own application and it's been denied. Now they're looking at an appeal. They have a deadline, and you can't just write a letter or have your doctor write a letter and consider that an appeal. That's not enough, and you're not creating the record that we need for the court. So I will work with people to put together their appeal so that we're presenting all of the evidence that the insurance company needs to do the right thing and pay the claim, so that we're presenting everything that we need to be able to show that you really are not able to work anymore at your job. And we'll put all of that together, submit the appeal, and if that doesn't work, then we'll file a lawsuit. And we're prepared to go the distance, and we're willing to go the distance, and I think we do a really good job on these long-term disability claims, and especially in an area where there aren't that many attorneys doing them. So I like to work early on this. I like to strategize and put our best foot forward, but if you find yourself in a situation where, that just didn't happen, and you're now facing a denial, please call me. Let's work on it sooner rather than later. I don't want you talking to the insurance company. I want to help you. I want to be your guide through this. And it's a tricky maze, and I think it's a tricky maze on purpose because insurance companies just don't want to give you money. And when you're entitled to it, I think you've got to push for it.